Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to watch. I've got an update for you guys on your ice storm impacting the south central U.S. and then your little snowstorm that's going to be impacting parts of the Ohio Valley and the Northeast this morning into today. I'm not going to be taking a look at the precise timing for our storms at the end of the video like how I usually would, just because it's been a little confusing lately. I've had little difference between the two model runs, meaning, they're the same model runs, except, it's still the GFS, except it's one showing the precipitation and one showing the energy, and they don't exactly line up the way I want them to, so we're not going to be taking a look at that today, but I really want to dive into this ice storm that we've got brewing here for Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, that kind of area. And then we'll really take a look at what it's to expect from this ice storm. So we have a lot to talk about, so we'll get into the updates, starting with your alerts. You can see it's not quiet out there. It's definitely not quiet. You already have this widespread ice storm warning. This goes out for a lot of western Tennessee. This goes out for 8 counties in eastern Arkansas. And this will soon probably be upgraded, if not expand. Well, I'm talking about this winter weather advisory now. This will soon be upgraded. If not, it will expand. I think it'll definitely expand a lot farther south. But you have a lot of winter storm warnings here in central Texas. You got your winter weather advisory that goes out for all the way up to northwestern Pennsylvania, down into central Texas. So a very big storm that's going to be impacting. But we have a very, very dangerous ice storm that's going to be producing a lot of freezing rain that's going to be dangerous for travel. So we'll get into the update with the southeast. So you can see that right now it's it's not bad in the southeast, considering that we've just got over with that crazy rainstorm. So right now it's just before 10. This is 10. And you can see that pretty much for the most part, all you have going on is a few showers, rain showers flying around out here in Georgia area, South Carolina, Carolina coast. You have a little bit more stronger precipitation. You could hear a few rumbles of thunder. But it's just been relatively cloudy out there for you guys. And then we continue playing this throughout the day, and these kind of diminish as we get into the afternoon hours. But you get your ice storm starting to form. We're going to talk about that later once we move to the main part of the update. But I just want to show you guys, it's not too, we're going to focus on right now for this area. It's not too wet out there. These showers, you could see these flying around pretty much all day. They could actually eventually form some thunderstorms, but they actually don't. And then you obviously have your storm that will be moving through. You could have, middle of the night, you could have some snow in West Virginia, Kentucky, maybe some ice in Kentucky, and some ice in Tennessee. But we're definitely going to leave that for the next part of the update. But it's going to be pretty rainy for the next few days, meaning that for the next probably 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 days, it's going to be relatively wet. But it's not going to be bad, so that's pretty much going to be it for the southeast. This is where we really dive into things. We're taking a look at the central U.S., but it's going to be starting early and it's going to get messy fast. So we're going to put this to 10 a.m. and you already have some freezing rain starting to fall here in south central Texas. And we continue throughout the day. You see a little secondary spot. This is located. This would be located in northeastern Oklahoma. You have some snow and some sleet starting to form here, but this just keeps growing. And once you get into the afternoon hours, so this is late afternoon, you're getting very heavy snow here on the border between the three states. You have Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. So any state in this little border here, this little three-way border, is where you could have some pretty heavy snowfall. So this is meaning that you're going to be looking for 1 to possibly even 3 inches of snow. But on the south side of this, so now you're getting into Arkansas. You have some ice starting to show up. So this is sleet and freezing rain mixing together. So it's just a wintry mess out there. And this doesn't pop up on radar for maybe an hour or two. This continues throughout the day, and it doesn't stop. So you're getting into now Tennessee, Kentucky, and then soon to be West Virginia. This is still getting some of that ice. Then you get another storm that's going to form behind it that could connect with this one, and it seems as if it will. You get low pressure still down here in Mexico, but this is taking control of this new ice storm that's going to be a little bit more wintry. So that meaning a little bit more wintry, meaning that you're going to see a little bit more snowfall. And this goes for North Texas and Oklahoma. But as you continue throughout, this is the 31st. This is tomorrow. Morning hours tomorrow. You'll see a lot more ice, or start to kind of bounce around out there. Just because the sun is up. So when you're looking for snow, you're going to be looking for the morning hours, so the very early morning hours. Once you get into the afternoon hours, the sun is up, so you have a little bit warmer temperatures. This causes that freezing rain to start. And then it continues throughout the day. Arkansas getting hammered by this storm. The boot heel of Missouri also getting a pretty nasty ice storm, and this continues throughout the day because you got 9 p.m. and you still got some freezing rain here in central Arkansas, and that doesn't stop. Then you get another system behind it that will connect actually with this line of ice storms, and then it looks like another good one for central Texas, and then a little bit farther south, so you're talking maybe Houston area, you have some storms firing up here. So very interesting and different setup than what we've been seeing in the last few days. So we're going to really be taking a look at how much ice could accumulate within these storms. But that's pretty much the end of the model run, as your ice kind of diminishes and, I guess you could say, transitions into all rain. But that's gonna be it for the ice storm. Also, maybe a little secondary pocket of freezing rain could impact Oklahoma, but that is it for this. But we're gonna now be taking a look at the temperatures. Excuse me. I'm taking a look at this just because I want to show you that the cutoff for this is very close. So, for an ice storm to happen, you want temperatures ranging from 25 to 40 degrees. But that's what you have here. You've got 44 degrees here, so this is around Little Rock, Arkansas. So central Arkansas, staying at around 40 degrees. This would be, I guess, midday today. But as you head north, this goes into northern Arkansas, you get right into those below freezing temperatures. And we'll move a little bit farther to where the more, as you could say, the stronger ice accumulations would occur, and then you get teens. Temperatures dropping into the teens here. You got 16 degrees. This is west of Oklahoma City, and then you just keep moving. I keep moving my mouse around here, and you don't get over the freezing mark unless you go way down south. And this area right here is actually all rain. This is all rain. But even if you head up here, you're still getting a pretty wet sleet. The most accumulating ice is going to be in northern Arkansas, northwestern Oklahoma, and then central Texas because of these very sharp cutoff temperatures. So when you see temperatures in the upper 20s and then you continue throughout the day and they don't rise that much, but they do eventually rise, this is what you're looking for when you want an ice storm to set up. Now, we obviously don't want an ice storm to set up because it's so dangerous having those slick roads, those messy conditions out there. But if you were to want an ice storm, this would be the setup you want because of this sharp cutoff. So very interesting to see. And then we'll put this to midday tomorrow. This will be 10 in the morning. And this cold air drops a little bit farther south. So this goes south, a little bit farther south than Little Rock, Arkansas. This dropping into counties of southern Arkansas. Now you're getting to, let's put this to noon. And this lifts a little bit farther north as your storm kind of would move like this. But that's pretty much going to be it for the temperatures. Just want to show you guys that pretty sharp cutoff for these cold and then warm temperatures. We're going to be taking a look at your latest ice accumulations as of what the GFS is saying now. This isn't what's already fallen or already frozen now, but what will be frozen in the next few hours and then eventually the next 2 days. So we'll start in central Arkansas, where I showed you guys that region for some very strong ice accumulations. You're topping off at, looks like going to be a little bit more than half an inch of ice. So Little Rock area, getting pounded by this ice. Please do not attempt to travel in these very slick conditions. So when you see that the roads are icy, I would rather you not to attempt to travel. But if it's raining but you have a little bit of ice, like freezing rain out there, I mean, okay, if you need to travel, go ahead. But you gotta pay attention to what the National Weather Service is saying. So, 0.59 inches of ice, this is a lot of ice on the roads. So, Tennessee is pretty much, so I would say the most concerning area for this ice storm would be the border between western Tennessee and eastern Arkansas, and then obviously the portions of central Arkansas and western Tennessee. That's really where you could see the most accumulating ice. And then look at this secondary pocket of accumulating ice. This is happening in central Texas. You're getting a little bit more than a quarter of an inch of ice. But this would definitely still be travel impacting, considering that there's a few major highways that go through here. So it's pretty dangerous when you have so many motorists out there traveling along these icy roads. So please be careful with these storms. This does go out 81 hours, so this would be, as of Thursday, this would be how much ice you could expect from these storms. But that's going to be it for the ice totals. Just obviously, like I said, keep in mind that this could obviously change in the next few hours, but always keep in mind that it's going to be pretty dangerous. We're gonna be now looking at the northeast, and you can see that it's been pretty wet in terms of what's going to be happening and what's not going to be happening. So, what's not going to be happening is a dry day. This high pressure you can just ignore because you're soon going to get some precipitation that's going to be steadily falling throughout the whole Northeast. So ignore this high pressure for now because you already have some snow showers flying around in New York State and then Ohio Valley getting some of that snowfall too. And that moves out. Once this moves into the areas of upstate New Jersey, New York State, Massachusetts, and then eventually Connecticut. Watch how that kind of, I guess you could say, intensifies. It's not going to intensify a crazy amount because you can see on your bar here, this doesn't get half white because you got your only dark greens. But this is actually the beginning round of your storm as you get a few inches of snow that could fall off the coast of Maine. But this is your major storm down here. This one's going to stay a little bit farther south than what it first was going to, like what we were first going to forecast. But this is now looking like it's going to stay south of New Jersey, and it does, but you get a little line of rain that could impact New Jersey this evening. And then you get into afternoon hours, and it's actually relatively dry. So, ignore what I said earlier about ignore that high pressure. You will definitely have a dry day, relatively dry day. The beginning of your day, so you're talking about the morning, you could have some snow showers or some rain showers flying around out there. That's what I'm talking about. But when you get it through the afternoon hours, it's going to be dry. But then when you get another round of rain and snow, this is when you're getting into the overnight hours. Watch how this really gets pretty, almost heavy. And this goes for New Jersey, Long Island, New York City, Boston, all you guys. So along the I-95 corridor, mid-Atlantic, getting some of that snowfall. And this continues for a few hours and then finally moves out. But you could have a few inches of snow fall down here in major cities on the I-95. But just want to make sure you guys, are looking out for that. And then that moves out. You get very strong high pressure along here in the border between Ohio and Indianapolis. But that's going to be it for the Northeast. Just again, watch out for this snow that's going to be moving through. And this does impact New York City. So any of these areas that haven't been experiencing almost not any snowfall, you will definitely get some snowfall from the system because we're very close to this time frame. This is February 1st, middle of the night, February 1st. And you definitely have some snowfall because this doesn't have the time to completely change. Because New York City is a city that hasn't been getting almost no snowfall. And it's in the central eye of this system. So we don't really have enough time for this to change. So we don't really have any other scenarios for this system. So just watch out for that snowstorm that small snowstorm that will be impacting those cities. We're going to be taking a look at your snow totals. Let me put this to, let's see. Let me put this out 90 hours. We're going to focus on just the Northeast. So you can see that it's not going to be that much snow. you're only topping off at like 3-5 inches of snow. This goes for well upstate New York. So we'll put this to New York City. You're getting below an inch of snow, but you will have some snow falling. You can see along the south shore of Long Island, you do have a tiny, tiny pocket of an inch of snow. So I would say that if you're on Long Island or New Jersey, Connecticut, I would expect up to an inch, but no more than an inch of snow. Because you go just south of New Jersey, then you're getting steadily snowfall totals with an inch. Move a little bit farther west, we'll go to Virginia, topping off at 2 inches of snow along the coast of Virginia. West Virginia, topping off at 4 inches of snow. So it could be a pretty good snowstorm for you guys in West Virginia. And this goes for pretty much all of the state, but not including this little area of West Virginia. We'll go to Kentucky, topping off at 3 inches of snow. This also goes for most of the state. So I would expect 1 to 3 inches for most of you guys in Kentucky. Pennsylvania, topping off at about 4 inches of snow, possibly even up to 5 inches of snow. But this would pretty much just go for the western half of Pennsylvania. Eastern Pennsylvania too, though, could see up to an inch of snow. That would be expected today into tomorrow. Massachusetts topping off probably same as New York City, up to an inch of snow. Vermont and New Hampshire probably going to top off at up to 2 inches of snow. And then Maine looking like it's going to be up to 3 inches of snow for you guys. So a few inches of snow could fall, but not anything that's crazy. But just keep in mind that a few inches of snow could fall throughout the few hours of today and tomorrow. So we're now going to be looking at our big week ahead. As I said in the beginning of the update, we are not going to be looking at the wind energy just because it was a little confusing yesterday. I know I didn't mention it in the update yesterday. That was confusing me, but inside I was knowing that it was confusing me. So we're just going to be taking a look at what's to expect for the precipitation, and we'll just use what we have as our time up here. So if any of you are wondering what the time frame is going to be for these storms, this is what you're going to be looking at. So it's in the top right of my screen, and then we'll get into this. So you get your first ice storm that starts forming, and that moves out, bringing your snow to New York City and Long Island, New Jersey as well, and then that moves out. You get another system behind it. It's a rainstorm for the southeast. That doesn't impact any regions in the northeast. But we do have this pocket of very cold air that's going to be surging south. So if you're looking for any snowstorm in your area in the northeast, you want a snowstorm to develop February 3rd. So around the 3rd is really where you want your snowstorm to develop. You don't really get any storm until this clipper-like system comes through, giving a few additional inches to the northeast, and then you get another system that could pop a little low, secondary low off the coast. It does, and this kind of takes over that clipper-like system and becomes a pretty strong system off the coast, giving the East Coast cities a little bit of a rainstorm, but that's going to be all rain. No one else is getting snow from that one. Here comes another system that's looking like it could be a pretty dangerous thunderstorm for you guys down there in the South Central. Obviously, it's so far out. You got February 8th, but it looks like this could be a severe weather event, now shifting a little bit farther west. And it does bring a bit of snow to the areas in Iowa and southern Minnesota, but that's going to be it. So it's looking like a little bit less of a wintry pattern. You get another rainstorm that comes up through the northeast, again not giving any snow to the northeast. So a new pattern starting to form, even though you have some pretty strong cold air behind all these systems. Here's another low that's going to form a little bit closer to the coast, giving some cities along the interior parts of the northeast some snow. You can see New York City getting some of that snow. This would be around the 13th, but that moves out. And then that's pretty much it for the model run, but you get another system brewing down here south of California. This one looking like it could be a pretty major setup for what it will be happening after the 15th of February. So just want to let you guys know that it's going to be pretty nasty out there, considering how much ice could accumulate. But especially for those who are going to be impacted by that ice, because they haven't been seeing that much winter weather lately, this one's going to be a pretty big one. So please feel free to write in the comments if you've been experiencing any of this winter weather or any of this ice that's been falling in, this freezing rain that's been falling in Arkansas. So that's going to be it for today's update. If you haven't already, like, share, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and we'll catch you guys in the next update. So we'll see you guys.